J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Tryna get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I get to the club, look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check to go. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No call, for real. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Brando Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Steps away to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, it's Bell. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
230.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's James. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell taking it in. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Boswell now for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Play action to Sproles. Wentz. And got his man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. They give him a gain of 38. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So that'll back him up 5. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Wentz going to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. So on trots the field goal unit. And, wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. Crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. Pittsburgh Steelers working their way back out here on offense. Last week, a much-needed win for Steeler Nation. Now they're at 2-2-1, so we'll see what the future holds. But, you know, things have not been, shall we say, harmonious so far in Pittsburgh.
Well, I think that the harmony started to get recreated in the win against Atlanta. Antonio Brown had a big day, finally got into the end zone with a touchdown catch. He and Big Ben Roethlisberger back on the so-called same page, singing from the same hymnal, shall we say. And that team really played well, but the flip side of it is their defense had been giving up a lot of points. They held the high-flying Atlanta Falcons to 17. That bodes well for the future, too.
And the Wi-Fi wasn't so spotty in that game. It was pretty good reception. Fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Fletcher Cox. In there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. CD, let's kick back to Week 5 for a second. That Minnesota-Philadelphia game was one that both teams, they needed. I mean, they didn't anticipate being in the spot that they're in right now. But Philly loses, and they're now 2-3. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here.
And you hate the stat, especially if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but it remains clear. 7 defending champs before them started 2-3 the year after their Super Bowl win. How many of them made the playoffs?
1.
And that was the 1996 Dallas Cowboys. So that's not great, obviously. But in Philadelphia, they're not ready to hit the panic button yet. They still feel like they can get it together and run off a string of victories.
On first down, Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. From midfield, here's Wentz. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patches, I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. Boom!
Dilf, Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Philadelphia's offense taking the field here again. They got some tough news on October 8th after the Week 5 game. Jay Ajayi torn ACL. So what does that do now for the Philly run game?
Well, ostensibly everyone would just move up a spot, and they would still feel pretty solid about how things are going. But the other guys have been banged up a little bit, too, along the way. Corey Clement, who was the undrafted free agent who caught a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl last year, he's been battling some injuries. So is Darren Sproles. Remember, they lost him for much of last season on their run to the Super Bowl. He's been beat up a little bit. Wendell Smallwood has been getting the bulk of carries and bulk of plays. Had a touchdown against Minnesota last Sunday. He may have to be the primary ball carrier in the near future.
On second down, here's Wentz. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Wentz now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. There he goes right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 21-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right. That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he? He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total. Yeah, really nice gain there. They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play. Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows? That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's got this down to the 35. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it? Able to dump it over, looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Allow me to sidestep for a second after that incompletion, CD. Let's talk about the rookie quarterbacks, because just last week we were talking about them going 0-4. But this past weekend, 4-0 for the rookie QBs.
Remember that seesaw we used to jump on when we were kids? You're up, you're down. But this week, they are way up. Sam Darnold and the Jets take out the Broncos. Baker Mayfield and his Browns in overtime. The fierce Ravens pass rush is foiled. And how about Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills taking the measure of the Tennessee Titans, who are up to a 3-1 start? And Josh Rosen, his second start in the NFL, he takes out the 49ers with help from his Cardinals teammates. That's the first time in the Super Bowl era that we've had rookie quarterbacks go 4-0 on a weekend. And somewhere in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's wanting to know when he's going to get his opportunity.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. Brown, his first catch. It's a first down. And connection number 1 there on the game. Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. They may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Roethlisberger will throw. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Boswell's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this will be incomplete. Well, right now we are 5 weeks into the NFL season. Charles, switching gears here. 2 undefeated teams, the Rams and the Chiefs, both at 5-0.
And who's going to end up being the first to lose? That becomes the game now, doesn't it? Because I know the 1972 Miami Dolphins team is waiting for both of them to lose so they can pop their champagne. But who's it going to be? The Chiefs' upcoming schedule? They're at New England, home against Cincinnati, home against Denver. How about for the Rams? 3 of their next 4.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hilton, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Rodgers from 21 yards away. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. Boswell good with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Yeah, he's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Eagles get a score closer. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will shave 1 more off this lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big...
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. 30, 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. And now running right through it. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
On the ball.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, 28 yards. And the interception by the Steeler D leads to a touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead will swell by one more. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Here's Sproles. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Here we go. 120.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. you're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darren Sproles, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. Elliott good with a PAT. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And now out come the Steelers. The last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll go again with Bell. And an alley to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. A give to Bell. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup. There, it'll be 2nd and 8. First carry for James Conner. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Right back to him on first down. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Here's Conner. And he's got some space here. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter of. Very one-sided affair. Conner. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Lucky 56.
They run with Conner. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so, and one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on second and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Lady!
17, guys. Check him out.
To throw is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Back. 20.
shorty. Black, come on.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. He gets it to Matthews, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Eagles on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11.
Black.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Buying time to his left. Aguilar has it. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Nice movement there by Carson Wentz outside of the pocket, completes another pass. Help me out here, partner. He's not sneaky athletic. He is athletic. How many times do I have to say it?
Yeah, you've been making that declaration for a while, and at 6'5", he ran a 40 of 4.77, so not only big, but he can move.
That's a good time for a quarterback. He and Andrew Luck, similar physiques, similar.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Four down, check, four down.
And they take a knee. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.